the worst future yet. It's a motherfucking understatement that we cannot, absolutely not let this future happen. Oh God! What's up? It's your boy Sin trying to come back up with another reaction video. And I kid you not, that's my real name, man. I'm stumbling over my words because the episode I just witnessed, man, this was a complete travesty. So, man, let's get straight into it, man. Takemichi is at the funeral and he just cannot believe his eyes. He goes up to the casket and he sees Mitsuya, the homie, sitting there as a fucking empty vessel, eyes closed, and you know it's a fucking wrap. This ain't a joke. His sisters were really out front at the reception crying because, man, it's true. He has been unalived by somebody. And we're like, our thoughts, heads are spinning. He's like, what in the fuck is going on? So Takemichi just takes off. He can't believe it. You know, he's crying, stumbling, bumbling, rumbling out into the streets and falls down because he just can't believe what the fuck is going on. And it turns out he was strangled. He's like, that's personal, man. Somebody really took it upon themselves to take their 10 fingers, wrap them around his damn neck, and keep squeezing until he could no longer breathe and he didn't have life. And just like I said, that's just a personal touch for somebody to take care of you with their own 2 hands. I mean, beyond malicious. And of course, definitely intentional. So who would have the motive to do something like that? And it might just be somebody close to you. But we just thinking, and we checked the news as well. Hina's dead again in a fucking car accident again. So you're like, what in the bizarre world is going on here, man? We gotta get some answers. Gotta figure this shit out. So one of the first dudes we gotta convene with is Naoto. Where the hell is he? And Takemichi goes back to his place. He finds out that he's been living in not the condo like he was last time, but he still is an officer of, you know, the Toman gang. He's been living in that crappy apartment where this all started. That he was first living out in you know, it's roach infested. Maybe it looks it looks a little bit better here. You know, not trash all over the place. So maybe not roach infested, but anyways, he's still living in squalor compared to, you know, his positioning. He's a officer, a top officer of you know, Toman. And so Naoto comes to visit him, and you know, we find out what he knows. That, I mean, like, he knows, he finds out that all the fucking major members have been taken out. And it's like, what in the fuck? Draken was stabbed to death. Kazutora we don't know about. Let's see, Mitsuya was strangled. Pa was taken out. Let's see, what's his name? Little brother of Taiga was burned to death. So like, what in the fuck is going on, man? Like, they're just methodically, systematically being erased. And who? I mean, we don't want to go there, but it's like, who has the hands, the means to do this? Because there's not too many powerful people out there that could do that. Taiju, I'm like, dang, Taiju, but immediately, of course, my thoughts go to Kisaki, that motherfucker. Gotta have that, you know, hand in this, kicking him out the game. He wanted revenge. He's like, oh, this ain't over. And I'm like, dang, it ain't over. So, what the fuck happened? How the hell did we get to this gruesome Terminator 2 type future? And then we found out the fucking shocker that not only those guys have been taken out, but Kisaki Teta himself has been taken out. You're like, huh? You did this? How the, you know what I'm saying? If you did, then who would have had, you know, the fucking gall to do some shit like this? And I'm like, damn, I like I said, I didn't want to go there, but Mikey, he did, you know, go on a rampage before, and I was with, you know, your boy Kisaki whispering in his ear. But he always did have, like, you know, mental that was bouncing on you know, on the ledge, on the edge. And he finally just lose it. So, like, but how did this happen? Takemichi had to have been there, man. So we find out on the letter that that picture that was sent to Takemichi came from a letter, and it's stamped from being in coming from the Philippines. It says, "Meet me at the place that I told you about." You know, so I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's somewhere in Japan. No, they're going out to the Philippines. We flying out there live, and I'm like, damn, it's just a bad moon rising. So I'm like, okay, maybe Mikey, but there's got to be somebody that framed him, right? But I mean, there's other gangs that we haven't even really delved into. You know, the ones that we saw at the brawl in the first season, at the end of the first season. Some of them might be strong enough to take out, our crew. I mean, definitely they can maybe compete with Mikey. But Taiju, he got one shot at, but still, like he's someone in that Mikey class because he knocked Mikey out. But then Mikey knocked his ass out. So I mean, just he's that much of a threat. But to take out all our, I mean, these guys aren't no pushovers. Takemichi might be a weak motherfucker, but these dudes definitely ain't. So anyways, we head to the Philippines and we see that, ruined, the place that Takemichi told him about, where Mikey's brother got the pieces to put together the two bikes, one that he gifted to Mikey and one that, was his that ended up being Mikey's, and then the one that he gifted to Mikey, it was just kind of like in the making. Mikey gifted to Takemichi, but we're like, what happened? Mikey changed or whatever, and then we're going along the ruins, and we're like just pondering, like, okay, what would have happened? How could this have happened? And so many questions, and then like Takemichi's like, hey, I could be in danger, and Mikey invited me here and whatnot, but we finally do meet up with Mikey, and we see him on the pile of the fittingly so on the pile of all the scrap that has the potential to become something, but it's just junk at this point. And he talks to our boy Takemichi, opens up, and he's like, yeah, you left the organization, like losing you basically was the end of Toman, because things weren't the same, things changed. I changed, I lost my stuff. I'm like, there it is. Takemichi, he really needs to stay there in the past and just live through it. I'm like, I know why they didn't do it, of course, then we wouldn't have a story, but he needs to, like, once he leaves, he goes on autopilot, and who is that guy that stays behind? We don't know who I'm like, he's devoid of soul. I feel like he's living on the old programming. So that's the potential danger in Takemichi leaving. Like, we need him there to guide the future to the place that we want it to be, the outcome that we want it to get. Everybody alive, he not alive. Toman being a somewhat honorable gang, and all the members still intact. So I mean, this time we didn't lose, his homeboys, his the people close to him in his circle. We just lost all of the original members, all the brass. So I just like, man, where's not Kisaki, where's Hama? He must have left at some point. He didn't want Mike to take him out. But what is the catalyst to Mikey changing? But I mean, he has nobody to fill that hole in his heart, and Takemichi is that. He's a big brother to Mikey, and without him, he just lost at sea. Like, he needs him to be his guiding light, his center, and man, it's just scary. He's this pseudo big brother. Like, he looks up to him. He says, said in the last episode, Takemichi, you truly are strong, because lots of people can fight, lots of people can be good at plotting and scheming, but he's the heart of Toman. Like, they're not fit to be. He's a moral center. They're not fit to be a stand up, a somewhat righteous organization. And Mikey said he was going to make the new era of hoodlums, but Mitsuya and Draken, older versions of them, said they begged and pleaded with Mikey to let Takemichi go, because they didn't want to see him steeped into the violence, the life, the path of violence that they have chosen, and become like them. So the best thing for to be to let him go. But that's the worst outcome for Toman, because they have no one to lead and guide them. And even without, because yeah, it's funny. Even though they kicked out Kisaki, he was the darkness, but Mikey didn't have to fill that role. But once Mikey undertook that, he really lost himself. He got lost in that. And we see him taking out some of the members, when we were talking to Taiju's little brother, I can't remember his name, but when he's burning him alive, he's telling him that all they want to do is meet with Takemichi one more time, and then he's looking at he's talking to not Mitsuya, Chifuyu, before he blows his mind quite literally. He's telling him that the guy that is not the same. The guy that time traveled. So that Chifuyu is coming with the knowledge. So when he goes into the past, he needs to tell Mikey who he is and what he can do. Because Mikey's like at the end. I mean, we'll get to that in a second. But like, it's not the same guy, and so like he's like, it'll be a different guy you're looking at. Look him in the eyes, and he actually is like, Mikey begs Takemichi to take him out, gives him a gun, and tells him, hey, I need you to take me out. I'm sick of this. And he says, either you take me out or I take you out. Because, of course, Takemichi starts crying. And he's like, I can't do it. You're my brother. I love you. And he puts the gun in his head. It's like, either you delete me or I delete you. And then Naoto saves him. Headshot. Mikey goes down. And he's like, and then he realizes, Naoto does, that the gun was actually on safety. So he was never going to try to take out Takemichi. He just wanted to get the ending. He's like, my life has been nothing but suffering. He's like, that. And Takemichi tells him that's not true. Man, like, Mikey, there's no way you would do these things. I mean, like, but in fact, he did, though. But we got to figure out, like, how did he lose his way? And how do we prevent this atrocious future from happening? Because Mikey might be the leader of Toman and the strongest, even one of the strongest in this universe. But without Takemichi, their moral compass, they are truly going to be lost. Man, when this episode started, I never imagined that Mikey would be the culprit behind all this, but as strong as he is physically, mentally, he's like teetering. Like you can look at his eyes, he's lost. Like, I feel like just from the beginning, he was lost, man. He's been steeped in the darkness, and like, that's such a dangerous place to be. But I know that Takemichi is gonna get this right. But next episode, like we always, we don't have a preview. But how are we going to start to try it and remedy this? Because it's gonna go into be a cliffhanger going into the next season. But man, what a puzzle to solve. We gotta get this under control. The future cannot be secured until we sort out this and go forward with a solid plan for the past. Man, damn, good ass episode. Love it. But you're not even watching. No, it's all good though. We finna do what we do. And salute, baby.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe if you
Thanks for watching. Check me out at Centron Anime, Centron Life, or Centron Laughs, or other social media.